Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Kudlow. I'm Larry Kudlow. Good to be with you. You know, some days it really doesn't pay to read the newspapers. Today, for example, I'm reading one of my favorites, the New York Post. Now, I started at the back where the sports section reported that Garrett Cole pitched a fabulous 7 innings. He struck out 15, and he stopped the Yanks' 4-game losing streak. I am, as you may know, a manic, devout, diehard Yankee fan. And I saw part of the game last night, and he's definitely worth the $300 million or whatever they're paying him. Terrific. I mean, I'm sorry he can't pitch every day. And another hero, Aaron Judge, went 3 for 4, hit a home run. And I always read the box scores. It's just kind of part of my routine. So all was good. All was good. Then I turned to the front of the paper, and that's when I got this searing headache, which I have not been able to shake off all day. I mean, searing headache, it's killing me. First, I start reading some details that President Joe Biden actually called former Afghan President Ashraf Ghani to tell him, Ghani, that it's time to start fibbing about the fact that the Taliban were already marching to take over Afghanistan. This was in, mid-July, I believe that call was made. Biden didn't like that news, so he told Ghani to start painting a different picture, a different PR campaign. Really? This is, of course, from our president, who continues right up until now to deny that he ever had any inkling that the Taliban was coming fast and strong to take Kabul and the rest of the country. Now, folks, I've worked for a couple presidents in my time. I know there's always a fib or two out there, but this Biden ploy reaches a level of cognitive dissonance that is historic and virtually unheard of. Really. Then I read that Secretary of Defense Austin and Joint Chiefs Chairman Milley held a briefing during which General Milley suggested that we, the U.S., might keep or have a relationship with the Taliban. He called it a possibility. Now, I'm an admirer of General Milley, or at least during my time in the administration. But this is not good. In other reports about this, you read that other administration officials on background are saying they're going to need the Taliban's help against ISIS-K. So I want to say that is total, utter nonsense. The Taliban are a bunch of barbaric, cutthroat terrorists. The only people they're ever going to help are like-minded other terrorists. They have no interest in helping the U.S. or any other civilized country or democracy around the world, anywhere. Now, the administration has made so many catastrophic blunders that it's hard to believe this story can get worse. But it can get worse. Now, I would remind the president, with respect, and his advisors, that going way back to September 23rd, 2001, right after 9/11, the State Department found that the Taliban was, and I quote, specially designated global terrorist, end quote. Let me repeat, specially designated global terrorist. Former UN Ambassador Kelly Craft told us this 2 days ago on this program. Then in 2002, President George W. Bush elevated the State Department's dictum into an official executive order. And then by 2008, there was a congressional law mandating that the Taliban be considered a terrorist organization for immigration purposes. Additionally, on the books, the Treasury Department continues to classify the Taliban as an FTO, that is, foreign terrorist organization. So, in other words, they are our enemies, not our friends. We shouldn't let them in the country, and we shouldn't give them any money. Can I be clearer than that? Enemies, stay out of here, no money. And if all these woke defense and foreign policy advisors in the administration, if they think we're going to do business with the Taliban, A, think again, and B, you're going to have to repeal in a visible public way an executive order, a congressional law, and 2 cabinet departmental orders, state and treasury. They are terrorists, officially designated. Now, finally, just to intensify the headache, I read in the Wall Street Journal this morning a story with the headline, and I quote, "Majority of interpreters, other U.S. visa applicants were left behind in Afghanistan." Then the subhead, U.S. still doesn't have reliable data on who was evacuated from Afghanistan, a senior State Department official says. Well, wait a minute. If a majority of interpreters and these special immigration visa people, SIVs they're called, if they're still in Afghanistan, then who the heck are the 100,000 Afghans that just arrived here from our airlift? Who are they? So let me get this right. The ones we wanted to get here are still there in Afghanistan, and the ones we don't know anything about have come here. This is Laurel and Hardy stuff, to go back a ways. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Laurel and Hardy, just Google them up and you'll find out. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Now, this is a separate issue from the stain on America's military honor of leaving a couple hundred Americans behind in Afghanistan. Our troops left first, and Americans still left on the battlefield. And reports are that the Taliban are already going house to house looking for Americans and the interpreters. What do you think they're going to do to them when they find them? You can see why I have a brutal, brutal headache. And by the by, I'm not blaming the media. I'm going to blame the administration. You can see why I prefer to read about the Yankees and their star pitcher. But then again, there's always hope for me. Our next guest is going to tell us how we could potentially get out of this dreadful mess, even through unofficial channels, because of the great patriotism of our veterans and their friends, and so many Americans in the private sector operating outside government. There are all these great folks who want to help rescue this whole story and somehow rescue our American credibility and our honor.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.